Alrighty. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Okay. Yeah, I think that's working. According to YouTube, we are live with an excellent connection. 22 seconds of the satisfactory title logo. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's day 2 of the shitstorm. Well, as an update, well, I'll wait a moment until we're into the game proper. Um, but hello once again, everybody. How are you doing? Good to be with you again. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we've been essentially live for about a minute now. Although we're waiting for the stream to, well, we're waiting for the game to finish loading. But as soon as that's done, we will be ready to go. Hey, there we go. Hello once again, everybody. How are you doing? Good to be with you. Dig it, brother. I don't actually know if I'm going to get anybody here, but I hope so. It would be nice. Again, I don't want to run a very long stream, especially because as I arrived here late today. I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of exploring, actually. Because I've been getting some, I don't know, kind of cool drops from these pods. Drop pods. I made a funny. The stream's current bit rate is, yeah, the standard thing. Can't get any of that stuff. Wait, can I get that? Oh, well, I want a gunpowder. Or black powder, excuse me. I don't want to use the incorrect terminology and come off sounding like a gun noob. Um, well, let's go over yesterday. So I made some announcements yesterday, a few things. In case you have not watched the previous streams, I gave a little bit of an update on where I've been, what I've been up to. So the IRL world is kind of taking a little bit of a front seat, chasing IRL normie promotions and that sort of thing. So hopefully I'm going to get myself into a position of greater responsibility at work, which is, I don't know, it's maybe it'll work for me, maybe it won't, whatever. What we're gonna do when we go exploring, we're going to only take necessities. So we're gonna take a little bit of concrete, tools, tools. Take a little bit more concrete. That should be enough. Now let's see if we can make any health kit stuff. So anyway, while we're doing that, oh yep, we need this for health kits. This and this. A little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. That. Take a couple of miners with us. Oh, I've already got medical stuff. Top of the line. I need some nails for the nail gun. Alright. So, as far as things with me go, yes, chasing normie things like promotions and whatnot. Trying to get myself into some sort of responsibilities. Wouldn't that be fun? Ooh, you can always use color cartridges. So, responsibility, yes. Cool, fun, happy, fun stuff. I've been reluctant to stream because of computer stuff. Mainly the fact that, my computer has been very sort of, what would be the best way to put it, kind of a capital B I T C H. I don't know why I spelled that out. I just felt that that would be funny. But yes, kind of not a lot of fun, and so I'd explained this yesterday. The big part being that we just sort of I do these for fun, and so if I'm not having fun and everybody else is not having fun, then I kind of question why I'm doing it. I can't just be like, yeah, I don't really freaking care, It's like, well, I am doing this for fun. I also would prefer not to be watching a fucking slideshow and not have to worry about severe fucking bottlenecking, which I seem to have to worry about with this old rig of mine, this potato computer. Not that I don't have many great memories of it, and she's done some really cool things. Most of the work and edits and all that you've seen online, all of the memes and the photoshops and stuff have been done on this machine. So it's been fine for the purposes that I've needed it for. Right? I would never complain about that. But it's just that, time crumbles things. And, time is the fire that consumes us all, Captain. Right now is the time in which I am burning. I can't do that guy's voice. But yeah, show. Yes, plans. I have saved up enough, I think, to upgrade to a new computer. Now the plan is to build a secondary computer. All right, I think it's good. We can go exploring a little bit. Plenty of health kits, empty pockets, and we're off. Wait, okay, so do I have the detonator? Okay, yep. So IRL stuff, basically. That's most of where I've been trying to live up to the potential that other people have seen in me. It is no exaggeration to say that I'm getting pressure from multiple sides, coworkers, and the management who want to see me live up to that potential, who are kind of cheering for me from the sidelines to both get this opportunity and make good with it. So I to my own satisfaction, want to give this the best shot that I can. So I kind of have been trying to be more strict with myself about how I use time, about how I go about my day, making sure I'm rested for work, lots and lots of stuff like that. And so, basically, big part of my daily right there is making sure that I'm rested and ready to go. So there's a slug over there. I think we're gonna go get that slug. A slug. Ooh, Ma, look at me, I'm Fortnite. I wonder. Ah, shit. That almost was hilarious. That's so disappointing. Oh man, if it was just a couple more feet that way. Oh, that would have been great. I guess I will have to kill and skin the thing though. But I got your slug. Is there anything else up here? Nothing important. What's up? What's up, brah? Bruh. Let's see. What else? Ooh, is this a cave? Ooh, mushrooms. Good thing we went exploring. Oh, it's those things. Get them off me! Get them off me! Creepy crawlies in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever... Oh, go... No, here they come. Sometimes you just have to be smarter than the programming algorithm. What the fuck is that hissing? Oh, it's one of you. What am I scared of? I'm gonna beat your ass. Scared of nothing. So yeah, that's the main stuff. The main update is yeah, kind of have a life that I live outside of. Oh, more mushrooms. Let's take it. We could always use more of this stuff, I guess. So want to get the new technology. So probably within the next week, I'll be upgrading a new computer, getting that all set up, and then installing, you know, my games and migrating over to that as my primary. I'll keep the secondary up because I'd like to see if I can find enough parts to upgrade it, sort of refurbish it and keep it around. Would be kind of cool, I think. But we'll see how that works out. I mean, basically, yeah, that's all for the updates. I mean, I don't think there's anything else spectacular that has happened to me. Kind of waiting on this interview to happen. I already essentially went through it once, and I've been told that I did very, very well. So I know that I already essentially have my foot in the door. So the point I'm at this point is just not to slam the door in my own face. So that basically that's that. What else besides that? Oh, slug. Nice. Good thing we're exploring. Kind of a little dangerously close to this edge. I think I'd like to stay nice and far away from it, so as not to go plummeting to my untimely demise and lose all of my items, which is probably what would happen. So yeah, with the boring stuff out of the way, which is really, that's not a whole lot, but it is kind of a very oversimplification of essentially saying I live a life outside of the internet and I can't make streaming my primary thing because this is just a fun little hobby, just a fun little side thing I do for me. So if people come in and enjoy it, good, so much the better. But if not, no big loss for me. I'd want people to enjoy themselves. I want people to have fun. If they're not having fun, well, I want you to go somewhere and have fun. Do things that make you happy. Don't feel obligated to come here just because of me. So, let's see. What else? The big thing. The big story. The big story. Here's the big show. Kidding. We don't want to get any copyright strikes for playing copyrighted or even singing copyrighted WWE themes. But so here we are, we find ourselves essentially in a situation that we've gone through before, and a situation that has basically been the death knell for a lot of fun places, a lot of places where people go to enjoy themselves, to be amongst friends, and to be all that good stuff. So, if you missed yesterday's ranty, rambly rant, if you missed that, what is in here? What is in here? Those things. Wow. Nice hops. Stupid little thing. Hold still while I smack ya. Oh, that's the stuff. So with all that ado aside, apparently, as far as the update for now knowing a little bit more information about the situation that happened on Mines the other day, apparently a very proliferant lolly posting account was banned. This person was not banned because they had posted illegal material, but because people had abused the illegal material report feature to report what is basically not illegal material as illegal material. So that was yesterday. What essentially we knew and we could find out from yesterday. Or well, what I'd kind of suspected. I kind of believed that it was probably people abusing the report function because they literally can't force people to behave the way that they want to. And so I elaborated yesterday. I was talking about how, with types like this, the people who truly believe the bullshit, um, either semi, as I was calling them, semi trolls, or like the full on true believers of the crap. Um, and they're all just basically, it's almost a what be superfluous difference between them. Because if it walks like an idiot and talks like an idiot and behaves like an idiot, well, not sure if I care so much what the difference between them is. Um, I don't need to worry about what flavor of stupid you are. I just call you stupid and go on with my life. But just, I suppose, for purely, I don't know, autistic reasons, there I explained differences in behaviors and where people are coming from with these approaches. But yeah, so seriously, really what it comes down to, and this is the funny part, now having a little bit more information about what had happened than I did before. Apparently, it was literally a Pokemon character that was reported. And man, oh man, oh man, I got a good chuckle out of that. Because it's like, what was it Ottman said? I have the cap somewhere. I wish I was more of a professional and that I prepared this stuff more ahead of time. But yeah, well, it must be coming up from the lower level then, so it didn't do any damage to me. Well, I'm gonna have plenty of this stuff. Good lord, this is the mother load. How much will I need? I don't know, but evidently I've got it now. So yeah, basically, Abuse reported a lolly poster, and yeah, that was basically it. And then Ottman tried to defend the decision, saying that it was illegal under U.S. law and blah blah blah. It's like, I think there's enough precedent that those laws are essentially toothless. I mean, it's like, dude, there are books written about the silly laws that are in the United States. I think in Washington State, it is still illegal to take a goldfish onto a bus if it results in a disturbance. And that just opens so many stupid legal questions. And it's like, the number one being, who gives a shit if a goldfish causes a disturbance? But yeah, we're supposed to agree with morality laws because in a specific interpretation of it seems to support your positions or the positions of these moral. Well, there are words that I won't use on YouTube. Whoa, okay, nope. Okay, that'll get us sick, so we don't want to go there. I think that's it for this cave. Um, let's see. So, yeah. I used most of my arguments last night, but to summarize the arguments for anybody that may have missed them. or may have liked hearing them. I think the number one argument is that it's not real. I mean, that first and foremost is the most logical and simplest approach to it all. It's like it is not real. It is not causing any harm to any people. There is no victim of this supposed what you would want classified as a crime. And I went into depth on that last night. There's a 4chan copy pasta that essentially rants along the same lines. It's very well put, not altogether in original thought, because it's just a restatement of previous court precedent and whatnot. And the court precedent essentially being the reason why it is not a crime is because there is no victim. So I believe in a certain case which resulted in a precedent being set in defense of this sort of material, the judge more or less said, where is the victim? In order to bring forth, this sort of action, there needs to be a victim. One can't just try somebody for a crime that essentially has no victim. It would be the same as, again, like, and this is where the argument about it inciting or causing behavior, it's like it doesn't, because you would have to argue that all forms of entertainment do exactly the same thing, and you would never do that. You would never argue that the only reason that people like Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy and other psychopaths exist is because they watched Friday the 13th. You would never do that. And it all comes down to the same crap as all hypocritical pushes. Hypocritical morality pushes. Good Lord, I must be tired. But as other hypocritical morality pushes go, it's like you would not say this about things that you like. You'd never allow anybody to use these styles of argumentation for things that you like. You would say, no, that's impossible. What sort of idiot would watch Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street and then decide, oh, it's time to go, get myself a boiler room and do some bad things to children? You'd never say, action movies cause people to go do whatever. It's essentially, like I said yesterday, it's the Jack Thompson defense, and it's really weak. Really, really weak. It really basically doesn't hold water whatsoever. Because it raises too many questions, and it collapses under its own weight. But like I said yesterday, you're often not arguing with the most intellectually sound of people, which is why Ottman can point to, well, it's illegal under United States Code, link something, and essentially come out looking like a complete darn fool. Because realistically, that's where you end up. You end up looking like an ignorant fool. Now, a point that I was going to make at the beginning of this, but I, rambled a little bit too long and was distracted by playing the game. But one of the things that I was going to essentially bring up at the very beginning is, so this may actually have been a problem. If, say nobody had considered not safe for work material and people wishing not to be exposed to it. It would be a problem. But see, here's the thing. Ottman and the Mines crew were were far enough ahead. They thought far enough ahead that they had considered that, hey, maybe we should have a tag for not safe for work material. And I was making this argument yesterday. So it really doesn't matter if you're offended by the truly hardcore lolly stuff or the more tame but weird stuff like the foot fetish stuff. Um, what matters is you don't have to see it if you don't want to. So if you'll, yesterday I had made the point that essentially one is not necessarily worried about exposure to the material so much as they are worried about controlling other people's behavior, presuming, of course, that they're not simply a troll or an idiot who is engaging in trolling but is actually upset by the material. So again, the as I call them, the semi troll, because it's a person that actually is upset by the material and is not in control of their facilities, faculties, but is still somewhat trolling. Just it's just for very very malicious and very intense purposes. So, um, but all that being said, um, it's like people don't have to be exposed to this material unless they want to be exposed to the material. Not so not so quick in water, are you? Gotcha. Um, but yeah, it's once you get to the actual arguments, you really kind of see that these people don't really have a rationale for what they believe. They're simply reacting on a visceral sort of gut instinct, and again, that makes me feel very distrustful towards people because what I feel that it occurs to me when people get that exaggeratedly uh, angry and obsessed with things that otherwise other people could be like, why do you care, dude? Literally, if somebody came up to me and was like screaming to the high heavens about this, did you know on mines people are posting lollies? I'd be like, who fucking cares? And so uh, justify in order to justify their shit, they have to uh, they have to sort of try and conflate it with something much more meaningful. Well, it's illegal material, and it's like, no, illegal material would require a victim. It would require the violation of a real person's rights and integrities. And as I made this argument yesterday, it's like it's actually more offensive and gross to me that you are essentially trying to conflate what is an illegal activity that robs the the emotional, mental integrity and essentially scars a person for life, even if they thought they were a willing participant at time. In some cases, um, you're willing to conflate something that is so heinous that you could not find a soul outside of places like BreadTube and whatnot who would justify. All right, let's go for it. Come on. Hey, weren't expecting that, were ya? But to boil it down to aesthetics is just, it says to me that you are incapable of actually being offended by by this material. Absolutely incapable of it. Um, you don't understand it. And that's saying something that's probably going to get taken out of context. But I feel that in order to truly be disgusted by something, one must understand it, the incorrectness of it. So to find something immoral, one must understand morality. So that's why when I point out, I say very clearly, it's not an aesthetic choice. It's not the fact that I approve or disapprove of that style of characters, and really what it comes down to, for the most part, is just a certain style of body. But it's like the idiots will always be more than willing to move the goalposts and not care. Trolls be damned. Uh, there are a lot of people out there who couldn't explain why. It's just their thing is it's just wrong. You know, and I think that that's why people can get so offended over something that is ultimately harmless, and then start to move the goalposts about how no, now it's not about the fact that there's a victim. It's about the fact that it encourages behavior, and then no, it's not about the fact that it encourages behavior. It's about the fact that it's harmful to the people who it's not about this. It's not about that, and they just keep moving and jiving and running around the goalposts until they ultimately just basically do the social justice warrior thing of blocking you. So I mean, it's completely wrong to try and cite it as being technically illegal. It's like there's a lot of things that are probably technically illegal by the strict definition of the law, that are simply technically illegal because of stupid uh, legislation, stupid morality crusades, and whatnot. But of course, you start going down this route, and people will instantly conflate uh, the argument you're making, which is a sound argument, and obfuscate it by saying, well, obviously that must mean that you want people to actually attack children. It's like, no. The other day I was talking about like cuck porn and um, shall we call them extreme bondage situations, um, non-consensual role play. Again, role play. If you want to engage in that kind of play with a willing and of age partner able to make the decision, go ahead. I don't care. I may not want to participate in the activities that you enjoy, but so long as I'm not violating your rights by not participating in it, or you violate mine by participating in it, life's good. Life's gravy. Go do what you want and be happy. Life's too short to not enjoy it. Um, but I'm sure that if I ever actually get into an argument with somebody over this, they actually say, "Oh, debate me, bro, debate me, bro." And eventually, sooner rather than later, it's going to come up that, well, you must just want people to actually go out and actually with minors and whatnot, and that's not what's being argued. Or they'll impinge upon morality. I'm like, you know what? Sorry, dude. I have dated adult women my entire life, so you're barking up the wrong tree there, or whatever else. Um, but um, just not a lot of solid arguments there. And so sooner rather than later, we end up with impinging on other people's choice to engage in behaviors, which I think is really the nice try. But yeah, arguing for the legality of it, I think is a losing proposition because there's probably enough precedent that such material within logical boundaries is free speech that it wouldn't matter. Anybody decides to take this to court, all they're really doing is basically giving a free speech someone wanting to make a name for themselves on the back of a free speech massive free speech win, massive free speech court win. That person would just be like, oh, please, please, please take this to court. Then they would proceed to basically make a hilarious spectacle, a circus of the people, pointing out to them basically all the things that I've been pointing out, and probably other things that other people more smarter and versed in these arguments than I am. They would just devastate the prosecutor and the prosecution, and pretty much that's the end of the career for whatever prosecuting team takes that. And yeah, they're at that point they're probably glad that they're working for the public, the state, because the state will continue to hire or continue to employ them as incompetent as they clearly were to take that case to court. So yeah, nah, the illegal argument does not work. The aesthetic argument, again, it's more offensive to me that you would bring something aesthetically that you would bring it down to aesthetics. Like, imagine making that argument about anything else. Well, the real reason that I don't like murder is because blood is icky and gross. Like, what is with people that like blood? Ew, icky, icky. Like, sorry, that's not really exactly why people find murder bad. It's because it violates the integrity. Yeah, maybe I don't want to. How about that? How about that, huh? I strongly advise you to suck on these nuts. I think I've gotten thoroughly and totally lost. Oh, fine, I'll take it. You stupid S logo that all the kids drew in school. Oh, no. Ow. Oof. Still alive. Oof. Thought I was gonna for a second there. Hey, it's a thing. I don't feel like fighting with more stupid, irritating, flying, buggy things. Yeah, there's a lot of angry people too, and it is bullshit and it is unfair. But please, let's not overreact. All right, let's not start Fed posting, uh, just because there are idiots out there who will make exam easy easy sport of people who like lolicon. It is what it is. Like you're always gonna have bullies in the world who want the easy targets, and that's part of the issue. I would say is that you're always so you should be ready for that sort of thing. It is what it is. It is disappointing, I would say. Very disappointing that Ottman has decided to more or less um, not. Okay, no. How about no? You freaking cycloptic colleague. So that is one thing. Again, but yeah, again, the disappointing thing about Ottman, sort of, I would say, even in a sense, going back on his promise of free speech in this regard. I do understand that it's a difficult position to defend, given how niche lolly fetishism is. But it's the same thing that Torba fucked up on, I think, and what kind of put him in a bad position, and trying to appeal to these faux trad cast idiots who go around faking to be these ultra devout religious types that are so trad and so religious and so devout. Um, if I were in charge of mines, my whole response to the situation would be restoring the account. Essentially, either disabling the report feature of all the accounts that had reported it, or outright banning them. And making an example, basically saying, this is what trolling in this on this platform will get you. Because here's the thing: yes, doing that to them will probably piss them off and make them very autistically focused on you, as such as they would be. However, appeasing them does not work either, because they're never going to be satisfied with these little victories. They're eventually going to move on to other people, and they're going to eventually move on to other people, and then they'll try and make a big name of themselves doing this. And so I would rather essentially just purge the platform of them, or disabling the feature again. I think would be best, because it would be essentially a form of shadow banning. Now, shadow banning, I'm going to say that word, and I say it endorsingly at the risk of pissing off a lot of people, even people who may have known me from Gamergate, and I'll say, well, how can you come out in defense of something like shadow banning? Well, I was active on Twitter in the early days. The early days of Twitter, where there were just a ton of spam bots. You would end up getting followed by these random accounts that were more or less the Boba post Vagan and Bob's please. Post Babin and Vag, I report you. Or, sexy, follow my sexy cam here, triple X shows. Like, it got bad. It got bad to where I see a random white girl face and I'm like, is that an actual person? or is that a photo that some uh, Asian or uh, some quote unquote Asian or some Zimbabwean prince has purchased to try and trick me into going to their website for all free triple X nudes, input credit card and Microsoft account number to get free Bob and Vagan in your feed daily, that sort of thing. So I did appreciate when Twitter took a more proactive stance against spammers, because that was a legitimate problem. It's just the usage of it against people who are otherwise engaging the platform in what you'd call good faith. Even though you may not appreciate the things that they were posting, you may not agree with them. It's like it's still a person's right to be free and say whatever they wish. That's how it should always be. I don't have to agree with what you're saying. I just have to know that it's not being used essentially illegally. So illegally in this situation would be actual posting of illegal content, not content that the anti crowd is going to tell you, "Oh, it's illegal because there's this law in the books." And it's like that law is unenforceable. It is completely unenforceable. And I made this argument last night saying, well, people are going to say, well, in this cucked Euroland, it's illegal. And it's like, all you're really basically telling me there is that your country is stupid. Your country is basically Germany levels of pro protector. Yeah, have fun. Have fun defending that stance that you think that you can't handle playing Contra because it's literally like real people gunning each other down. It's real, it's real. It's real. Don't you understand? It is real. No, it's not. The games are fake. Lolly is fake. It's a fake. Oh, no. Get off me. Get away. Get away. Get away. Get away. I'll kill you. I kill you. I kill you dead. I kills you dead. Oh, hey, there's someone here. Welcome, welcome, friend. How are you? Oh, no, radiation. No, no. Oof. Can we sneak around it? What else we got in here? There's a slug down there. Mm-hmm. That a purple slug? Too easy. But yeah, that's it's disappointing that that autism man. Ooh, purple. Yes. Take it. Our loot bag is filling up. Take this. Definitely a stupid move to make. As I said at the beginning of the stream, the problem, such as it was already essentially solved with the NSFW tag. And as I pointed out before, essentially turning off the NSFW filter basically results in consent. If you don't want to see the content, turn it back on. And I've seen people say, well, yes, but that doesn't always catch it. But over time, it gradually will, because people will post content. It will get reported for being NSFW, and it will eventually result in that account being filtered uh, out of people's feeds, which I think basically would be mutually acceptable as far as the lolly fans go, because I don't think that they're particularly wanting to be in the in the company of normies anyway. So, they're no longer interacting with you. You're no longer interacting with them. Hey, everyone's happy. But to abuse a report function and to spam report something as actually illegal content. They're not talking about technically illegal content. They're talking about the sort of thing that, what was the guy's name? Fucking the 4chan idiot who actually ended up going to jail because he was a fucking degenerate. A Thad? That guy? That kind of material? That's the stuff they're talking about. The stuff that if the authorities come and they find it on your computer, it's not going to be an awkward conversation with people who find out that now now they know that when you're home alone, you're jerking off to pictures of the God, what are they? The small ships from Kankole cruisers. Essentially, the cruisers are little girls in that, as far as I remember, or is that Azure Lane? No, I think it's Kankole. Kankole, the cruisers are little girls. Um, so it's like they know that when you're home alone, you're jerking it to weird dojins of cruiser feet. It's not awkward. It's okay. You done fucked up. You done broke the law, and it's pretty much indefensible. Nobody's gonna come to your aid and say, well, that may be weird, but there's no buts. It's like you fucking broke the law, and people ain't gonna come to your defense. People are gonna be like, well, he got what he fucking deserved. He knows the rules. That material's indefensible. But that's just kind of the biggest point right there. It's not an aesthetic argument. It's that it is illegal and the why of it being illegal. Because what was it? I think maybe it was some big brain bread tuber or something recently. I remember within like the last year there was some sort of debate or some sort of argument, and some genius, or maybe it was like some idiots online trying to be like, well, okay, so I can understand where the production of the material may be bad, the person that committed the crime, but I'm not a bad person for possessing the stuff. And it's like that's not exactly, because the again, the material requires the abuse of an individual, the violation of their rights and personal integrity to create, the possession of which has many ethical implications, not the least of which is that it essentially, consumption of it encourages the creation of more of it. Um, and the fact that you're a fucking subhuman piece of shit that indulges in not aesthetically taboo, uh, slightly disturbing, kind of weird porn fetishes, but someone who outright fucking essentially excuses the wrecking of human lives. And I don't even need to go anywhere from there. I don't need to keep going on with that thought. It's just period. End of line. That's, you are the sort of person who has no issue with the hurting and the destruction of actual human lives. Not lines of peace, not lines on paper, not, fucking what is it, her name? Sakura Mac. I don't remember. Card Captor Sakura. Her. Not her, not fucking Chibi Usagi, not girls from Pokemon, but kids, real fucking kids with real names, real lives, and the consequences of which of the abuse that they suffer will go with them for the rest of their fucking lives. And it's like, yeah, don't fucking try and conflate the two ever. That's not a winning fucking argument. Although I swear some fucking idiotic commie or bread tuber probably that because I have this strong feeling, this strong memory that this was made before. It's like, yes, but there can be ethical consumption of this stuff, and it's like, no, period. That does not fly. That will never fly, because the creation of it, again, requires something that there is a very rational and very easily defendable reason that stuff is illegal. And so you participating in that, encouraging that, consuming that, is not nearly the same as fucking seeing pictures of Pokemon girls in compromising situations, because there is no way you can hurt any of the girls from Pokemon. They will never have scars, mental scars, emotional scars. They will never go through life suffering the things that some animal has done to them. So yeah, it's the illegal argument does not work, and it's essentially illegal argument doesn't work. It's like none of it works. Ottman would have basically been better off, like I said, giving these people the finger and telling them to go back to Gab. That would really be the best thing he could have done. Instead, he encourages them, and I'm 100% willing to, I would be willing to put money on it. That fucking this won't discourage the sort of behavior, but rather, like Twitter, the mob will basically feel entitled to do more now that they've been placated. Oh, it's okay now because he's signed off on it. It's obviously good what we're doing, so let's not only do it but ramp it up some more. How about you don't? How about you fuck off? How about you leave people alone? Because again, like, trying to conflate things, it's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. It's not an aesthetic thing. It's not the fact that porn is disagreeable. Porn often comes from, damaged, possibly, but consenting adults. If there's a person out there that is making porn without someone's consent, well, that person's a piece of shit. And I hope they get what they fucking deserve. Yeah, basically, the so-called revenge porn, the actual revenge porn that is revenge porn. It's not, some fucking dumbass social justice warrior wannabe e-celeb had, photos taken of her when she was trying to be le epic erotic model, and then suddenly it's years later, hey, that was a bad decision. It's like, yes, that's freedom. Bad decisions are freedom, but that does not mean that your photographs are revenge porn. That's not how that works. Revenge porn is an entirely different and unseemly thing. That's what it is. Like, Like it's and again, like it's the fucking conflation of the shit. Like saying that all porn is essentially on the level of revenge porn. It's like, sorry man, I realize that the comet Haley flew by long before you were here, but can't get on board with your level of crazy. Sorry. One of the things that I was thinking of also that sort of really bothers me about all of this shit is that it's non-consensual. Like it's other people trying to enforce their morality on other people. And that is something I can't get on board with. It's like I don't care if you think that lolicon is weird and gross, you know? I I may think fucking foot fetishism is weird and gross. As long as there are no actual people being harmed, I don't care. And then again, there probably comes in the conflation. Oh, so you think like the real stuff is harmless, and I would say absolutely not going to ever claim that the two are the same thing. I'm on your side when it comes to the real shit. I think that there's probably a wood chipper in hell that I would like to see actual predators and monsters be fed into over and over and over for all eternity. And that fate would probably be too good for these people who actually do these things, who actually violate innocent lives. But for a drawing, again, as I was talking about the Pokemon girls, you you will never see May, Misty, Haruka, any of the other girls in a fucking clinic, in their mid 30s trying to get over the trauma of what was done to them. Because they don't exist. But, it's like I could go on at length more and more about the topic, but ultimately, again, it's just these people will just mentally reset and go back to being indignant idiots and feeling themselves the more moral for being more disgusted about this stuff than you, the stuff that you're making excuses for. And it's like I don't have to make excuses for art. If you don't like it, if you don't like the 2D stuff, that's fine. As long as it isn't the real stuff, the stuff that gets you thrown in federal pound my ass prison, you know. it's like it's like that's not the conversation we're having. You know, if a person has broken the law, like as I mentioned, the idiot from 4chan, Thad, that guy, the stuff he did, moron absolutely deserved to go to jail. Absolutely. You will not find me arguing that he was in any way in the right to do what he did. I hope he learned his fucking lesson. I really do. We don't know. Time will tell. Oh, three people. Hey, welcome everybody. How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Just me rambling about the goings on mines. And how I'm rather disappointed in the situation. How I think Ottman was probably in the wrong, and he'll realize at some point that he was in the wrong, to encourage people by trying to defend their bullshit. All right, let's see if we can make any medicine. Ah, medicine, yes. Yes, medicine. Hey, 11 of these. Very nice. Very nice. Anyways, probably not going to keep the stream going too much longer. I just wanted to sort of give everyone the update on what was going on Mines and why it is stupid. Why they'll probably regret it sooner than later encouraging this sort of behavior. And they will. Mark my words. Superior take the purpose of those sorts of arguments when they're brought out of the blue on discords and new social media sites are, I suspect, designed to be traps. Quite possibly. I was musing the other day that I believe there's probably a majority of people that are essentially just trolls. So there are probably varying degrees of trolls. Trolls that are just straight up picking on an easy target. And again, lolicons are an easy target because it's very hard to defend them. And not a lot of people are willing to put up with the tarring that essentially goes with being intellectually consistent. Because while I might argue that, you know, a person taking a nun being raped I gotta choose my words carefully so people don't try and report me. They have no problems with a nun getting unwilling anal intercourse from the devil himself. Would argue that that sort of stuff is just free speech, or saying the N word is just free speech. Would you know? Would it's easier to make those sorts of defenses than the sort of thing that people find disgusting. And I don't mind if you find it disgusting. I'm never going to ask anybody to sign off on it. It's like, you find it weird, you find it gross, fine. It's the same thing with foot fetishism, with cuckold fetishism, with you know, again, specifically a lot, like I was mentioning in the other stream, the sort of fucked up tastes of I'm not gonna say all women, but of a certain demographic of women, because it kind of it's one of those things you kind of never come back from when you realize that the majority of consumers of NTR material are the demographics typically women. But it's like, I may find your choice in pornographic entertainment questionable. It may make you wonder about you as a person. But it could just be a fucking fetish. It could just be something that entertains you and gets you off because of how wrong it is. But again, it's definitely a harder thing to defend, even if you're remaining intellectually consistent, because someone's just going to tar you with the description that you are a person who wishes to participate in illegal activity and is just trying to run cover for people who do the actual illegal activities. So, yeah. Alrighty then. I think I've driven everybody off. It's about 8 o'clock anyway. I really should be getting to bed. I didn't really even get a chance to sip my beer. I just kind of rambled on there and updated a little bit of what was going on with Ottman and all that stuff, and why I think it was a tactical mistake. I suppose I'll close up on a more coherent thought, a more well reasoned point that I was gonna try that I was thinking of earlier, but I forgot to make, is essentially that I do believe these sorts of people may be more than just simply trolls. They may be saboteurs, um, operating out of Twitter or Tumblr or whatever else. But it's easy to put on the trappings of one of these sorts of trad idiots who make themselves so easily parodyable. Um, it and put on that flag and go cause havoc, and then try and essentially sow discord and try and force the developers to sabotage themselves by turning against their community to appease what is at most a very vocal minority, because it is. If it were not, these people would not need to invade other people's spaces. They would not need to be around other people. Nice view. Well, I've done a lot of exploring. I've rambled a bit. I think I've given everybody who might be curious the update on what's going on at Mines. And I still think Mines uh, is a fine platform and a fairly, for the most part, fun and freedom loving community. This is probably a likely, I think, if not trolls, opportunists who want to sabotage minds in the community, false flagging in order to try and essentially get the platform at war with itself, over something that people really shouldn't give a shit about. If it's breaking law, that person is basically doing themselves a fucking disservice anyway, because yeah, there's probably feds all over Minds, as they probably are all over every other social media platform. And if not, they're probably just a finger touch away on the telephone or on the local websites. So yeah, no reason to believe that we need to support this bullshit. I just wish Ottman had taken a better stance, had a better reaction to it. That's about it, though. I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna wrap it up here before I just start rambling, because I made up most of my good points yesterday. I just kind of wanted to give an update on my understanding of what it was, and so to sum it up, essentially the big update for the information that I had half known yesterday was that essentially it was people reporting en masse material as something that it was not, which is namely, again, the illegal content. Uh, it's a weak argument to say that there are laws on the books that claim that it's illegal content, because there's enough legal precedent that any actual case would get blown out of the water. No prosecutor would dare take a person to court in the United States over it, and so claiming that it's technically illegal in the United States does not hold water. The laws are about the real shit that depicts actual abuse of actual individuals who cannot consent to the activities being done to them by the monsters who deserve the maximum punishments and deserve to burn in fucking hell for the things that they are doing that will rob people of their integrity and their fucking essentially soul for the rest of their lives. These people, to call them vampires would be too kind. Then would not even joking be an insult to vampires. You know, I pray for swift justice. If I was a praying man, I would pray for swift justice to the people who participate in these actually illegal activities. But as far as the people consuming weird fetish, two-dimensional anime characters go, regardless of what their physical stature is or what their supposed age is, because it doesn't matter. It's like, I think that people kind of give the field away to the, not only the trolls, but again, the idiots in trying to defend, well, she's an 800-year-old dragon, because that puts you on a defensive. It really should be, who the fuck cares? It's not real. These characters are not fucking real. I don't care what you I don't care if you have an agreement or disagreement that Kana from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is 500 years old. I think she's, what is she, 800 years old? She's an 800-year-old dragon, built the way she is. I don't care whether you think, well, no, she's not 800 years old. You know how old she's supposed to be or whatever else. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. She's not real. There's nothing, you literally, no human being can influence that character, and that character can never be mentally and emotionally scarred because they can never and will never exist. Unlike real, living, breathing individuals. The monsters that prey on those, the real, living, breathing individuals. Someone's son or someone's daughter. Because even the most unloved person in the world, has a mother and a father. Those people, to have their rights violated, to have their integrity, their innocence taken from them. I hope that there is a hell and a special place in hell for the monsters who attack the innocent. But aesthetics, don't try and conflate the actual moral argument, which is what essentially calling for the swift justice to be enacted upon the legitimate monsters. Don't conflate that with you being weirded out by weird porn. And I would never even try and defend it for not being weird fucking porn. Lolicons are weirdos. They're fucking weirdos. But hey, as long as they're not hurting anybody, as long as they're not participating in illegal acts, and that's illegal acts by sane fucking countries. Like, otherwise, and I'm gonna not try and loop back into that argument, lest we go back into me making fun of like Germany, and making fun of people saying, do you actually think, like, if I was reading a Freddy Krueger comic, I was literally watching a serial killer murder people? Does that make me a witness to a crime? Are you gonna call me to court and have me testify against Frederick Krueger? Is that where this goes ultimately? Silliness. But I think I've rambled long enough. That's about 90 minutes of exploring, having fun, and rambling. So, yeah, Ottman made a goof. Hopefully, he doesn't turn into Torba and dig himself in deeper and then try and use it as a moment to virtue signal and appeal to the wrong sorts of people and thus encourage their behavior, because most likely they're trolls, and I would caution that they could possibly be trolls there to essentially destabilize and destroy minds because they're, they might be lefties, as it were. Twitter, the very online Twitterati crowd who have nothing better to fucking do except for go around starting shit with people. And that's their stress point, their fracture point that they're exploiting. And that they're just going to keep exploiting it more and more and more and more and more until Minds becomes as much of a fucking joke as Gab is. That's a good note to end on. So I'll end it there. Everyone have fun. Follow me on Minds if you want to hear me kind of make rambly, stupid posts and post anime characters, and give the odd insight that is actually coherent and inspiring. Or just continue following me here. Um, and take her easy. Whatever you do.